Khalil Mack is a Chicago Bear. Khalil Mack is a Chicago Bear. Khalil effing Mack is a Chicago Bear. Never, in my wildest dreams, imagination, would I have ever thought anything like this could have possibly come true. But it has. The Chicago Bears went out there and got the best all-around edge defender in the National Football League. At me, don't at me, I don't care. That's what he is. That's what he do. That's what he do. They went out there and got him. They got aggressive. They gave up picks. They bring him in. And they make him the highest paid defender in the damn league. The Chicago Bears finally got something right. The Chicago Bears finally, after so many years of being anything other than this, have finally decided they want to play in the big leagues. They want to be a big-time organization. And I'm at a loss. I don't even know how to react. I can't remember the last time it felt this good to be a Chicago Bears fan. And I don't care what any of you Nelly Nancy naysayers want to say out there. You're not ruining this moment for me. The Bears just got that dude. The Chicago Bears just got a guy that it feels like it's only a matter of time before he someday has a bust in Canton as a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And they got him, not at the tail end of his run, but just as he's entering the peak of his freaking career. Hell yeah, I'm pumped. Hell yeah, I'm excited. It doesn't matter what anybody says. You got the idiots, I'm sure, that are going to be out there talking about, oh, the Bears gave up an awful lot here. They gave up 2 first-round picks, and then they made the guy the highest-paid player in the league, and that's going to be restricted from a salary cap space. You know what you do with that? You take all of that, shine it up real nice, turn that son of a bitch 600 different ways, and stick it where the sun don't shine. Oh, you're going to do what you could do. The difference being in this case, the Chicago Bears actually are bringing in an elite player. Major significant difference here. And this whole thing about the draft picks that they gave up. First round picks in 2019 and 2020. Who gives a shit? More likely than not, one of those 2 picks was going to be devoted to an edge rusher. And the chances that edge rusher or either one of those first round picks pans out to be freaking Khalil Mack is slim to So you have this opportunity with a quarterback on a rookie contract for the next several years, with money to spend, with salary cap space to spare. You have a chance to bring in one of the truly elite defensive players in all the National Football League, a guy who honestly has been playing out of true position the past few years in Oakland. Now you bring him into a situation where he can play as a more natural edge rusher in the 3-4, which is his ideal fit. And he can play underneath an elite defensive mind in the game like Vic Fangio. He makes Leonard Floyd better. He makes Kyle Fuller better. He makes Roquan Smith better. He makes the defensive line better. He makes the rest of the linebacking group better. He makes the secondary better. Like, ding dong dumplings, how do you think this doesn't make sense? How in the hell can you sit there and say that you wouldn't make the same damn deal? First round picks. The chances of both of those guys being really good NFL players is about 50-50 at best. Whereas you bring in a Khalil Mack, and assuming he stays healthy, the chances of him being an absolute freaking stud are 100%. And then to top it all off, the Bears get a future second-round pick in 2020 out of this? So let me get this straight. They gave up 2 first-round picks. But in order to do that, they were able to get Khalil Mack and a future second-rounder and a future fifth-rounder. Like, who wouldn't do that? You'll see some of these asshats on social media and in the NFL media specifically talking about, I'm not giving that type of money and these type of picks up for a non-quarterback. When somebody do special comes along, yes, the fuck you do. Like, you think about all those years back when the Green Bay Packers brought in Reggie White. That was landscape changing. That had reverberations throughout the entire National Football League for years to come. It established free agency and did so many things for the Green Bay Packers. And sure, everybody will already focus on the fact, well, they already had Brett Favre in the mix, Yes, Reggie White was also brought in before the 1993 season, and Favre was only a starter for the majority of 1992. Similar to what you've got with the Bears with their young quarterback right now. And I'm not saying Trubisky is Favre by any stretch of the imagination here. But it is easy through the scope of history to look back and say, well, look at what Favre became. How much was he helped out and that entire team helped out by what they did by bringing in Reggie White? And if you sit there and say, well, they signed him in free agency. They didn't have to give up draft picks. You ask Green Bay Packer fans in 1993 if they would have given up their next 3, 4 first-round picks to bring in a guy like Reggie White, knowing what Reggie White had already been and what Reggie White ultimately meant to that organization. What would they do? Those fucking cheeseheads would sit there and put down the nacho bowls and say, sign me up for that motherfucker right there. We can pass that on John Michaels. We can pass that on Craig Newsome and Simmons and all these other guys that were taken in the first round, even Aaron Taylor. None of them will have the impact, meaning, and significance of a guy like a Reggie White. It is the same type of situation here with Khalil Mack. You get an elite edge rusher, an elite edge defender, the best all-around edge defender in football. And he's not even truly in the peak of his career. This makes your defense better at every level. This makes your offense better too. I'm still stunned a team like the Packers didn't do it when they had 2 first-round picks this year. You could have partnered with a first-rounder this year, a first-rounder next year, still had a first-rounder this year, and you would have actually had that impact stud that you still pretend Clay Matthews can be. Like, how the hell do you allow the Chicago Bears to get him? The Bears organization needed something. They needed an injection of life. And by God, did they get it? What the hell are the Oakland Raiders doing? I'll answer that in a different video. Right now, what I know is the Bears fleeced the Raiders. The Raiders can get 20 picks and not end up with one guy like Khalil Mack. Think about how many years, Raiders fans, you waited for somebody like Khalil Mack, and now he's gone. And I'll tell you what, I most certainly will gladly take him. This is a big-time deal for the Chicago Bears. This changes everything in the NFC North. This makes them instant contenders in this division. This is a team that can potentially make some noise, and it's because of Khalil Mack and the impact he can have and the impact he can have on others on that defense. I know what I'm about to do. I'm about to celebrate, get pumped, get excited, and frankly do a lot of pumping. I got a whole roll of paper towels here. You know what that means. And you might sit there and say, that's a 6-pack and you only got 5 left. Use your freaking imagination. We're running those rolls hardly went down. It doesn't even matter. Khalil Mack is a Chicago Bear. Khalil Mack is a Chicago Bear. Khalil Mack is a Chicago Bear. I'm going to do it again. Khalil Mack is a Chicago Bear. You take that head and you fuck it. Yeah, deep throat that shit. Khalil Mack is a Chicago Bear. AFC North, we're coming for your asses. Bear down, bitches.